Alright guys, so this is like my fourth attempt trying to stream this, so we'll see if it works.
A few moments later.
Alright, so attempt 4 to get this to work. Unfortunately, I've had to mute the game audio for you guys, which is not what I wanted to do, but I'm sick of trying to record this video again, like my fourth time trying to record it. And this, I've resorted to doing it through Twitch streaming. You can, in fact, the last attempt is still on here on Twitch. If you listen to it, there's this huge audio issue. Things were actually going alright. But yeah, so we are going to play with an EXODIA deck. But actually, wait, before I get to that, before we get into that, so we're Woeful Tabletop Games, which is new. This, if you guys watched before, if you're one of my like 5 subscribers, I used to be called the Card Manipulator, but now I'm Woeful Tabletop Games. The channel's gone through kind of a rebrand. I've deleted all the old videos. So this is actually something a little bit different for me, even though this is the first video on here. So yeah. So I'm excited. We've done this rebrand, and actually I think, and the old videos were terrible, I actually think the quality of the video is going to go up incredibly. Today we're going to be playing with an EXODIA deck. And EXODIA the Forbidden One, you guys know EXODIA the Forbidden One's effect, at least most of you guys do. If you have the right leg of the Forbidden One, left leg of the Forbidden One, right arm of the Forbidden One, left arm of the Forbidden One, in addition to this card in your hand, you win the duel. So it's an alternate win condition. And so in my EXODIA deck, I've got obviously the 5 pieces of EXODIA. I've got 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons, then a Blue Eyes Toon Dragon, and those are to accompany the 3 copies of Trade-In. Then I've got White Stone of Legend, which accompanies the 3 copies of Cards of Consonance, which also will pull out one of those Blue Eyes. Then I've got Royal Magical Library, so every time a spell card's played, a spell counter's put on one of them, and after there's 3 spell counters, I can remove them and then draw 1 card. Obviously, this deck is going to be very, very draw heavy. I've got Swords, 3 copies of Swords just for a little bit of protection. Upstart Goblin, obviously you draw a card. I've got Toon Table of Contents that is partially to get that Toon Dragon out, but also more than anything just for deck thinning. And it also is good for getting counters on Royal Magical Library if you have one of those out. Terraforming is to get one of the field spells, which our field spells are, we have 3 copies of Chicken Game. I use this essentially to draw a card. If you want, you can read that big long effect. You can pause it, but one of the things I can do is pay 1,000 life points to draw a card, and so that's what I usually do with it. Then I have Pseudo Space, which can basically mimic any field spell, and I basically use it to effectively have 6 copies of Chicken Game. I've got Magical Mallet here. If just nothing is working and my hand is absolute trash, but I have Magical Mallet, I'll just recycle my entire hand and draw a completely new hand. Really, it's at its best when I play a bunch of stuff that lets me draw cards and then I have nothing left, but I still have Magical Mallet. That's when it's at its best. Then Pot of Duality, obviously search the top 3 cards and pick one. 1 day of peace, we each draw a card, so that's the draw, and then also neither of us can take damage for the rest of that turn, which is also some protection. Then Hand Destruction, this is like a kamikaze card if just nothing is working, and I have absolutely nothing, and I know I'm probably going to die on the next turn, and I have this in my hand, I'll do it, and I'll sacrifice something. Obviously, because a lot of EXODIA decks will have a card to kind of fish a piece or 2 out of the graveyard if you really need to, but I don't have any of that, so basically if any of my EXODIA pieces go in the graveyard, I might as well just surrender. So yeah, I've also got a Link Kuriboh down here, but I've been playing with this deck. I probably have a good 12 to 15 hours of playtime with this deck, and I have never played the Link Kuriboh. So, you know. Anyway, so it's really unfortunate that I have to do this without the game audio. I think this is because on Xbox, through the normal streaming methods, it doesn't let you stream this game. And so using a more unorthodox method that is going to the Capture tab in the Xbox menu and doing it through there. I can stream the game, but there seems to be an audio bug through the stream, which I think is an intentional audio bug because it doesn't want you streaming it. So I have unfortunately been forced to mute the game audio. But anyway, I really don't care because I've been trying to record this video for so long. So, you know. So we're just going to try a little bit of this. Let's see. Might do this for like about an hour. Okay, so not a very good hand to start. I mean, we got a couple really solid things here in Upstart Goblin and Cards of Consonance, but you actually want to start with as few pieces of Exodia as possible, unless obviously you start with all 5 pieces, which is mathematically almost impossible. I mean, it's not impossible. So Chicken Game can't be countered, which is one thing I really love about it, because there's so much spell and trap counter in this game. And then Cards of Consonance. Alright, so that seems to be the halt of it. Actually, it's pretty unlucky that we've only drawn a few cards and we already have 3 pieces of Exodia, which will be, I guess, more beneficial in the long run, but could also be detrimental now. It's very detrimental now. It could be beneficial, but, you know. So we'll just have to see with that. Anyway, our opponent's turn. Let's see what he does. So 1 face down, 2 face down, 3 face down. Alright, well that was easy enough. So something I know with this is because, unfortunately, I have to do this without... Okay, trade-in's actually really good. But because I have to do this without any audio, I need to give it some interesting commentary, which I'm really trying my hardest. Commentary's not my specialty, but so we throw Chicken Game again. We got a copy of Pseudospace. Alright, we can use that. Actually, let's go on and use that. So put Pseudospace down, then activate Pseudospace's effect, and we send Chicken Game to the graveyard, and Pseudospace almost copies Chicken Game, essentially, if you banish it. It can copy pretty much any field spell, and so draw another card. Another copy of Chicken Game. Alright, sweet. So we're going to play that copy of Chicken Game, which I usually will go as low as about 3,000 life points with playing Chicken Games and Pseudospaces. Alright, so we got trade-in. Actually, if we could get through these draws, if we could get Cards of Consonance or another Blue Eyes or Blue Eyes Toon Dragon or something, that would be like the best possible combo. 2 copies of Swords. Yikes. Okay, well, I gave it a shot. Okay, we got to discard a card. Discard actually Whitestone, because then we can get the effect of that and pull yeah, okay. Pull another Blue Eyes into my hand for the trade-in. Let's see, what does he have to counter it? That's what I'm worried about. Okay, he's got nothing, so pull that Blue Eyes into our hand, and then on our next turn we can play it with trade-in. We got to discard something else. Let's discard one of the copies of Swords. I remember when I first started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! This was like, I was in like 4th grade, and this was long before I had ever watched the anime or anything. Actually, even though the first seasons of the anime and stuff are technically wrong in how they so let's see, let's throw Chicken Game again. In how they like present the rules of the game. They actually gave me a way better understanding of the game than I had just from reading the rulebook. So, Chicken Game or trade-in, if I think I'm going to actually do another copy of Chicken Game, take the risk. I know it's a big risk. Okay, I got Upstart Goblin though, so I think it was worth it. Toon Table of Contents is actually really solid. So do a little bit of deck thinning. And then playing that last copy of Toon Table of Contents. And taking the dragon. And then using trade-in on the dragon that I just got. Alright, use terraforming. Pull in a copy of pseudospace. How many cards we got? 13? Alright. Then play Upstart Goblin. Got another cards of constants. Alright. I'm going to have to discard some stuff. But, oh man, this is a huge risk. Huge risk. Okay, let's do it. This is a huge risk. Okay, got a Royal Magical Library though, which is pretty solid, but it's not going to save me here. Hey, defense position's fine with me. So, okay, we got one more turn on swords. One more turn on swords. What are we going to discard? I guess we'll discard one of the copies of Cards of Consonance because we discarded one of the white stones, so we won't be able to use both of those copies anyway. And now we see what happens. So he throws another one face down. Okay, sweet. So that's swords, though. That's it for swords. Pseudo space again. I can't use it because my life points are so low. So I'm going to throw down another copy of swords. Maybe he'll just surrender after seeing another copy of swords. I cannot use chicken game again, though, because I only have 1,000 life points. I know I'm in kind of a rough spot here with this. Let's see what he does. Okay, face down. Okay. Ah, another Royal Magical Library.
Freeze. Okay, so this is me editing, and I basically just play that Royal Magical Library, and it takes me a really long time to do so, and so I'm just gonna take you up to when something interesting happens.
Raigeki. Okay. I didn't even know Raigeki was legal in this game. Alright, well, hand destruction. Honestly, I think I've got to do it, because I don't have much of a choice. Take pseudo space, and then what do I get rid of? What do I get rid of? I'm going to get rid of the cards. Oh boy, that may have been what sealed the game for me. If I draw a freaking White Stone of Legend, I swear. How many cards do I have left? 8 cards. 2 of them are pieces of Exodia, so 6 are actual beneficial cards, and 2 of them are... Oh, sweet! Awesome! So sweet. Won by Exodia's win condition, which I've won a good bit with this deck. It is definitely not like the best deck I ever used. Again, I like playing very old school stuff. I don't know if you saw with my decks there, but I had Exodia, I had Blue Eyes, I had Slifer, you know, stuff like that. I like playing stuff that's very old school. Go first. Always try to go first with this deck, and that's just because I would really like... I've gotten one before with it, but I'd really like to get a one-turn kill. Alright, okay, actually a very solid hand. A very solid hand. So first things first, thin the deck with Toon Table of Contents. See, I just thinned out three more cards from my deck. So, then I'm going chicken game, cards of Constance, Upstart Goblin, White Stone of Legend, and like one of the Exodia pieces. That would be like an ideal starting hand. Again, taking these big risks with chicken game, but with this deck you have to play taking big risks or you're never gonna win with it.
Hi, it's editing me again. Keep in mind what I say here about taking risks. That's very true that with this deck you have to take risks. However, you can see taking these risks will also sometimes bite you, and you'll see later in this duel that taking this risk and many other risks after it ends up biting me.
Banished chicken game. Alright. Actually, very glad I did take the risk, though, because Upstart Goblin may be the difference here. Wrote another Royal Magical Library. Alright. So Upstart Goblin probably is not going to be the difference, but... Okay, Royal Magical Library may have been the difference, though. So I'm going to activate Swords next turn. I'm actually going to activate Swords next turn, because I can't take damage this turn. So I'm going to use Hand Destruction. And I know this is also very risky, but I'm going to actually get rid of both my other copies of Royal Magical Library. Hand Destruction is a high risk, high reward card with this deck. And I think I just got rewarded. So I'm going to actually Magical Mallet my entire hand. I know that is very risky, except maybe Swords, but... What do you have? Ah, damn you. Dang. Alright. Well, that's okay. If I'd gotten a trade in our Cards of Consonance on that draw, that would have been the game changer right there.
Okay, editing me again for hopefully one final time. This guy takes like a freaking 15-minute turn. So I'm just going to speed through all of this, and you guys can just watch just how long his turn takes.
Come on. Cards of Consonance or trade in. Dang. Uh-oh. I'm in trouble. If this guy doesn't end it in like another minute, I'm just... Okay. Good. Took him long enough. I'm not so salty that I lost. I'm salty that this guy took like 100 hours to finish it. Um... Yeah. Alright. So guys, we're going to open some packs here at the very end, and then that's going to pretty much be it. Let's see. Harmonic Waves and Rampaging Rhinos. The Poison Chain. Quran. Infected Male and the Little Swordsman of Isle. Not Isle, but Shadow of Eyes. Okay, let's see. And Jowls of Dark Demise. But Shadow of Eyes is actually a pretty good card. Oh, okay. Super rare question mark? No. I don't know why it did all that. Chaos Trap Hole and Photon Leo. Um the graveyard in the 4th dimension. Add a level 2 monster from your graveyard to your deck and shuffle it. Alright, that's pretty good. Kaminote Blow. Let's see. Lightning Punisher, Dark Mimic level 1. Alright. Are we getting a super rare? Maybe? No. It keeps like doing the yellow and stuff, but it's this Bit Trooper or Bit Trooper. Not. Alright, and then Freezing Beast. Alright. Last one. Man, that was let's see. Yaranzo. Yaranzo. And then Hysteric Fairy. Yeah, that was not very good pulls. The best thing we got was, man, we only got 3 rares too. So what does Rampaging Rhinos do? Once per turn, this card can move to an adjacent unoccupied monster card zone. If this card attacks the monster in its same column, this card gains 500 attack during the damage step. That's actually a really interesting mechanic. But okay, cool. So, this has been Wofo Tabletop Games. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duels. Again, something a little bit different. If you guys like this, please like and subscribe. Those of you guys who do watch and who like and who subscribe mean the world to me. I do these videos mostly for fun. I'm not monetized or anything. So, yeah. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next one. This has been Wofo Tabletop Games.